dollies! Today we're going to be making fashion tights. I've been looking everywhere for ball joint doll tights, so I decided to just try to make my own. You can get three pairs of tights at Walmart in the girls section. You can also get tights in the women's section, but they're more expensive. It was like $6 for 3 pairs in the little girls section, and then it's like $9 for 2 pairs. But they have a tan and a white, depending on what color you want to use. If you want to see me do like a tan version or like more natural like skin tone version of the ball joint doll tights, just let me know and I'll make that video. But here is kind of the white and pink look. Okay, what you'll need is some tights, some blush, some brushes, and some eyeshadows or contours. You can get any of this stuff at Dollar Tree or you can get it at Walmart. Now you're going to want to stand up, make sure you like the placement of your blush, because when you sit down and do it, it's going to move because you're bending your legs. So I stand up and look in a mirror and make sure I get the placement right so it will stay that way when I walk or when I stand. I used a powder blush and then I also used a liquid blush. Also, sorry for my voice. I've been pretty sick, so I sound kind of drained. And after I used the liquid blush, I put some powder brush on top to set it. You're going to want to also pull your tights away from your leg and then let it go to get off all the excess. See how much you actually have on there. You'll do that every once in a while. Now I'm going to take some browns and some purples and a little bit of pink. You can just do browns if you want, but I wanted to do more shades, and I actually just had this palette that my sister gave me, so I decided just to use it. And you're going to do a lot of blending. We're going to try to make these look like bruises. I started off with a really dark coffee espresso type color and just went across my actual bruises on my legs. So to make it look more natural, I just put the dark brown over bruises that were already on my leg, and then I would blend it out, and for lighter bruises I would just use the excess that was left on my brush for light bruises or fading bruises. I went around kind of looking where I would like bigger bruises. I was thinking on the side of my thighs, I just used the excess of the brown and did a big circle, almost like I was trying to clean off my brush to give a really light type bruise, but also one that looked more natural. I also would put the light brown, if it got too dark, on top of the darker brown. And now I'm using some purple to make a bruise, seeing how I like that, and then putting some lighter brown on top of that. Then I just went around with bruises that I already had on my leg and then added some new ones or bigger ones around till I thought it looked good. It's really just preference or up to you how many bruises you want or how many you think look good or more natural, I guess you'd say. And just play around with the colors. Right here I used some pink so it looks more red. I played around with the colors to see what looked more natural. I think the lighter color, brown with the pink and some of the purple, looked really good. The really dark brown with some of the light brown looked more like a decaying look, so it's good for a zombie cosplay, which these tights would be really good for if you're going for a zombie look or a decaying look, I guess, for a cosplay. Make sure after you're done and you take off your tights, you go over with some water or micellar water to take off the excess blush or powder so you don't get it on your new tights. Now I'm just going to copy this picture, kind of seeing how the joints were done, I'm going to go over in a slight curve, a moon type shape, a very slight curve, and then almost pull down on the ends, almost in a little bit of a straight line or an angled line. Then I'm going to do straight lines on each side of my knee. Then I'm going to go a little bit over and do another line and do the same thing on the lower half of my knee. So I did the top just like the other top of my knee, and then did the same thing to the lower part of my knee, went underneath. This one's easy to do sitting down. Just stand up every once in a while to check the placement on your knee, what they'll look like when you're actually wearing them and walking around. That's my biggest tip, is to stand up every once in a while if you're doing it while sitting down, to see what it actually looks like when you're, what they're gonna look like when you wear them around. Because I've done this actually a few times before, a while back, but I did not stand up and check what they looked like, and they weren't even on my knees by the time I stood up. Now I'm going to do little rectangles at the top of my knee and leave a little bit of a space between them to put a little blush. I'm going to do the same thing to my ankles, do the half moons, and then kind of do another one on top and then the lines. If it helps, look up a picture on Google and use that. That's what I did. If I could have done this again, or when I do this again, I'm not going to copy this line work for the blush, because I think it doesn't look as good as it would have if I just used the blush around. I wouldn't have done this harsh line with the blush. It still came out good, but I think I think next time I'm going to do it differently. Also remember to set the colors. Every once in a while, pull the tights away from your legs and let it go, so the dust, the powders that's loose goes away, so you see how much you actually need. I ended up doing the blush like I wish I would have done at the top of my legs, on the bottom of my ankles, and that's pretty much it. I ended up using this pin that I had from Dollar Tree to make the pink darker in the center of the rectangles, and then I was all done. And there's your 3 fashion or cosplay tights. If you do happen to mess up, this can be washed out with some micellar water. It just takes a little time and light scrubbing to make sure you don't break your tights. You can get all of it at Walmart, or you can get some of it at Dollar Tree. You can find the tan tights at Dollar Tree, and you can also get the eyeshadows, brushes, and blush at Dollar Tree also. But you can also get all that stuff at Walmart. I couldn't find any white tights at Dollar Tree, but maybe yours will have it. But yeah, you can get the white tights at Walmart. All you'll need is the tights, eyeshadows, so you can do red and purples and tans. It's just up to you. Just brown will be fine. Brown and a blush. They have all the different options at Dollar Tree, so you can find it there. And you'll need a fluffy brush, and you'll need a more precise brush. So let me know what you think. If you want me to make more DIYs like this, or if you want me to make them in different colors or different styles, just let me know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye bye.